Ladies and gentlemen, this is probably my favorite picture of this little girl right here. And you'll see an angel background on her here in a minute, but she looks like the most innocent child. And you'd have to ask yourself, what would cause this baby's demise, especially at the hands of her own mother? But the story is going to have some details that are going to grip your heart and break your heart as well, man. So brace yourselves for that. And also, as well as my opinion, might bother you, but that's your disclaimer if you need to exit. But a Florida woman, I think she's a mother if I'm not mistaken, but a Florida woman, and this is coming from lawandcrime.com, so thank you for the article. She allegedly poisoned herself and her daughter. She is now charged with the girl's death after surviving what law enforcement officials believe was a failed murder-suicide attempt. It's always funny how they try to kill themselves, but they fail, but end up killing kids. It's funny how that works. Jacinda DeCaro, who is 26 years old, that's this fool that you see right there on my screen, she is charged with first-degree murder in the death of her 4-year-old daughter, Osceola DeCaro, and I really, really hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, because this angel deserves some respect on her name. That baby was 4 years old. Osceola County inmate records showed that Jacinda DeCaro, the mother, is being held with no bail and scheduled to make her first court appearance on Thursday. She is charged under the premeditated murder statute in Florida, which means that she faces life in prison or the death penalty if convicted. And I'm good with either one of those, especially when y'all hear the details. There are no other charges listed on her inmate page. Osceola and her mother were discovered after concerned family members called in for a welfare check while the two stayed at the Star Island Resort and Club on January the 10th, according to Osceola County Sheriff's Office. DeCaro had a faint pulse, but her daughter did not. The night of the murder, the suspect talked about suicide to several different people, told an ex-boyfriend that she did not want to live. She also FaceTimed another friend the same evening and talked about not wanting to be here. That's according to Sheriff Marcos Lopez. The doors were all locked from the inside when we attempted to make contact with all parties. She made a concoction, a lethal concoction, of Tylenol and liquid Benadryl, which they found that on the nightstand. But I want y'all to remember, of the people that she told, those people turned around and called the authorities, which is where the welfare check came from. I'm almost positive about that. So don't get mad about the fact that she told people, and it wasn't that they ignored it. They did absolutely take it serious and call. So it's really all they could do. Lopez said from the start that authorities were treating this case as an attempted murder-suicide. Possibly, she put some type of medications together, gave it to the baby, and then took them herself. Sheriff Lopez then revealed that the mother had contacted at least 3 people the night before she was found and expressed a desire to take her own life. We don't have all the details on if it was a mental health crisis or if it was some sort of other things personally in her life. She has no history of mental health issues. Let me say that again. She has no history of mental health issues. Why they continue to throw that out there and just say, well, maybe it was mental health. Maybe it was mental health. Maybe it was mental health. You didn't get checked. You didn't get treated. So it's not mental health. She allegedly left a note at the scene that read, "I'm sorry." The mother, DeCaro, recovered after a brief hospitalization, but is now behind bars after the medical examiner completed an autopsy of Osceola and determined intentional poisoning to be her cause of death. Shortly after her arrest, Sheriff Lopez spoke about a meeting his office had with DeCaro earlier that day. He said DeCaro was not responsive to questions. Today, we tried to question her to see what her intentions were and where her mindset was. She did not want to talk. So we don't know what was going through her mind and what she felt or what she meant by doing what she did. Lopez then turned his attention to focus on the victim. All we know is that there was a little girl who lost her life. She wanted to take her own life, and she could have. She didn't have to include this 4-year-old whose life hasn't even begun. Well said. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right. Also, don't forget, you guys can always help share these stories by simply clicking that thumbs up. It'll share this and let more people know that we're live talking about these stories so we can participate and comment together, okay? Here we go. Let's get it.
Developing now at 5, an intentional poisoning. That's what Osceola County Sheriff says a mom did to kill her 4-year-old child.
Deputies say Jacinda Marie DeCaro is facing a premeditated murder charge stemming from the murder that happened back in January. News 6's Jerry Askin was at today's press conference and spoke with the child's father about the charges.
Jacinda DeCaro is being held here on no bond at the Osceola County Jail. And I spoke with the child's father also, who says he's devastated and he wants answers.
My daughter didn't deserve this.
A heartbroken father, knowing his daughter, 4-year-old Osceola DeCaro, is gone. Investigators say his child's mother, Jacinda DeCaro, is responsible.
I'm bothered. I really hurt that she killed our girl.
Investigators say DeCaro even tried to kill herself here at the Star Island Resort back on January 10th. Today, she didn't say a word as she walked alongside the sheriff and investigators bound for jail. Jacinda, any reaction? Sheriff Marcos Lopez says DeCaro intentionally poisoned her daughter with medicine here at this hotel where they found them both unresponsive on the bed during a well-being check, and also a note left behind saying, "I'm sorry."
Tylenol and liquid Benadryl were on the nightstand. The night of the murder, the suspect talked about suicide to several different people.
The child's father, Jorge Ezekiel, is hurting, though he wants his child's mother to hear this. Do you forgive her?
I do forgive her. And I will want her to know that. I just want to know why.
And to clarify, the mom and the child's father, who I spoke with, are not together. Meantime, the sheriff said the state attorney's office is also reviewing this case.
This might not be a very popular thing for me to say, but I think it's okay for people to understand that it's okay to not have any forgiveness for someone who would hurt, murder, and abuse innocent babies, innocent children, those who cannot speak for themselves and those who cannot defend themselves. I think it's okay to not forgive them.
Right now, a mom is in critical condition in the hospital and her 4-year-old daughter is dead. Deputies found them unresponsive at an Osceola County resort. The sheriff spoke about the tragic situation earlier today outside the Star Island Resort and Club. That's near Osceola.
If you ask me, I just think that there are some things that are just not forgivable. You cannot violate the sanctity of children and think that that's something, oh, well, I could just be forgiven. No, I don't think so. I don't.
Celebration. News 6's Jerry Askin joins us live. And Jerry, you spoke to this girl's family.
I really did. You know, really a heartbreaking story. It makes you want to just touch your heart and feel for this story. I spoke with that child's heartbroken father a short time ago. He said his daughter was full of life, smart, and would have turned 5 years old in August. And right now he's devastated and he wants answers.
She was my baby. That was my twin. She was me.
Jorge Ezekiel is hurting and wishing his 4-year-old daughter, Osceola DeCaro, was still here. He gave me this picture of her and said she had a big smile and a bright personality.
My baby was smart. She was that little girl. And unfortunately, it's just sad that it had to be her.
Osceola County investigators say they were called here to the Star Island Resort near Celebration overnight and found the 4-year-old and the child's mom on the bed unresponsive in a hotel room.
there's not much I can say. I just wish I really knew what was going on with her mom.
Sheriff Marcos Lopez said family members called resort security after the mom never showed up to work. When they went inside the room, they also found a note, they say, saying, "I'm sorry," on the nightstand. Mom was taken to the hospital, but her daughter was pronounced dead on the scene. I asked the sheriff how the 4-year-old girl died and more about what may have happened.
Possibly she put some type of medications together, gave it to the baby, and then took them herself.
Any idea why she may have allegedly done this?
Well, right now we're getting a little bit from the family that she was going through a crisis. We don't have details on if it was a mental health crisis or if it was some sort of other thing personal in her life.
The child's father continues to grieve as his child's mother fights for her life in the hospital.
I wish her the best. I wish that she does recover, and it doesn't seem that we lose two people in this situation. And just want her to be good, though. I just want my answers. Why?
Yeah, and to clarify again, the 4-year-old's father and the child's mother are not together, but the father did refer to that mom as one of the strongest women he knows. Now, deputies are calling this an isolated incident as they work more with the...
That sounds like that man is still in love with her. And dude, I'm a parse my words. I don't want to hurt the biological father because I know he's probably going through a lot. But I think his focus should be strictly on the child and stop talking about, oh, I forgive her and I hope she'll be okay. And screw her. How about that? I can forgive. No.
And it doesn't seem that we lose two people in this situation. And just want her to be good, though. I just want my answers. Why?
You want her to be good for what? You want her to be okay for what? I'm sorry, I would want her to meet Satan as quickly as possible, sir. She could have given custody of your baby to you and then go do whatever she was going to do with her own fate. She did not have to include your child. But she's here and your child ain't. There ain't no forgiveness in that.
Just into the Fox 35 newsroom tonight, pictures of the 4-year-old girl found dead in a Kissimmee hotel room. Her mother is in critical condition. Right now, investigators believe this was an attempted murder-suicide.
Fox 35's Christy Kern is...
I know some people aren't going to understand what I'm saying, but I thank you for your support and thank you for the people who do understand. It's okay to not agree with where I'm coming from. Don't just... The last thing I want you guys to do is just go with what I'm saying just because it's coming from me and it's my opinion. I want you guys to truly speak in the chat, in the comment section, about what your thoughts are. If I'm wrong, if you disagree, you have every right to post it in there. Nobody's going to stop you from speaking your real thoughts. That's how we are as a community. Speak your real thoughts.
Live. So, Christy, you just spoke with the child's heartbroken father.
John Luann, the father, is understandably very upset. He says right now he is trying to come to terms and come to grips with the fact that he will have to bury his 4-year-old daughter. Now, he just shared some pictures with us of his daughter. Her name is Osceola. He says she was his twin and the absolute best thing in his life. He also says she was very smart for her age and that she loved her mom. Investigators believe her mother may have been attempting a murder-suicide when they found Osceola dead inside a hotel room in Kissimmee next to her mother, who is now in critical condition. They say they found a note that said, quote, "I'm sorry." The little girl's father, Jorge Ezekiel, says he has no idea what happened or what would have caused the girl's mother to do this.
It's shocking. It's surprising. It's real disappointing that someone I used to value and think so highly of just gave up and decided to do what she wanted to do and ended up costing my daughter's life.
Now, again, the mother is in critical condition at the hospital. The father says they are not together and he has not spoken to her in quite a while. Still, he says he is hoping for the best for her. Live tonight, Christy Kern, Fox 35 News.
Her smile, how beautiful she was, and how she can brightened the whole room, how smart she was. The fact that she just looked exactly like me, just my angel.
Jorge Pagan Cordero says he misses his daughter.
She's pretty much everything anybody can wish out of a daughter, really.
According to the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, 4-year-old Maciela de Caro Pagan was found dead in a hotel room at the Star Island Resort in Kissimmee. Her mother was found unresponsive next to her and was taken to the hospital for life-saving measures. On the nightstand was a note that read, "I'm sorry." Now her father says he's keeping his head up, trying to stay strong to be a good role model for those around him, including his other daughter. To be a good role model.
I'm going to tell y'all something that bothers me more than anything is watching children eat. Because eating and drinking is the sustenance that we need to sustain life. We all need it. And these children can only ingest, can only eat or drink what we give them. And the fact that this mother took advantage of her baby and gave her this medical concoction, because this baby would never think that mom is going to give me something that's going to kill me. This baby is thinking that my mom and dad love me and are gonna do what's best for me. And it just breaks my heart, man, because it always brings it back home for me when I see these children eating. So earlier, when I watched this video, I broke down crying when I see these kids eating, because it is the bare necessity. It is the first thing. How many of y'all have ever been there for the birth of your children? Because I have. I was. It's the first thing that children do. Is they eat. It's the first thing they do. They cry, snip the umbilical cord, get them cleaned up, put their drops in, clean their skin off, all that good stuff, check their vitals, blah, blah, blah. Then eventually they get them with the mom and they try to start feeding as soon as possible. It is the first instinctive thing that we do is eat. That is violating the sanctity of a child, that you give them something. It's sweet. Because that liquid Tylenol was probably sweet. She drank it because her mom gave her a bunch of it to drink, and she drank it and had no idea. Violated this baby. I'm sorry, but that is not forgivable.
Model for those around him, including his other daughter. He's focusing on the good.
Crazy about JoJo Siwa, crazy about unicorns. She loved her family, she loved her mom a lot.
And on forgiving the bad.
I would never expect her to do anything like this at all. That girl helped me out of situations of depression and helped me change my life for the better. And to see someone so strong as a leader like that to end up doing something like this is not good. That just shows that, everybody should just check on their loved ones more. Make sure that they're okay. If they need anything, pray to God. Pray for healing, guidance, strength, and stay firm.
Megan Mulatto, WESH 2 News.
A mother accused of the unthinkable 2 months after a 4-year-old girl was found dead in an Osceola County hotel room. Her mother is now charged with her murder.
WESH 2's Michelle Meredith is live for us. Michelle, did the mom have anything to say about these charges?
No, she did not. And when the sheriff announced the cause of death, we were all pretty shocked because he said the mom allegedly OD'd her daughter on Benadryl. Tell us your side of the story, please. Jacinda DeCaro had nothing to say, just kept looking down as she was led out of the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, accused of killing her 4-year-old daughter by giving her a lethal dose of Tylenol and liquid Benadryl.
The medical examiner's results ruled a death an intentional poisoning.
It started 2 months ago at a resort in Kissimmee. That's where Jacinda and her daughter, Marcela, were found unresponsive in a room she checked into. Deputies say Jacinda tried to kill herself as well, but did not succeed.
The night of the murder, the suspect talked about suicide to several different people. She told an ex-boyfriend that she didn't want to live. She also FaceTimed another friend the same evening and talked about not wanting to be here.
How Jacinda tried to kill herself was not explained, but investigators say she killed her daughter by allegedly giving her Tylenol and Benadryl. Medical experts say extremely high doses of Benadryl can slow the heart rate and put people in a coma.
Well, today we tried to question her just to see what was her intentions or her mindset. She didn't want to talk.
How did it come to this? The answer only Jacinda DeCaro knows, and was no doubt contemplating as she was walked handcuffed on her way to the Osceola County Jail. Now, Benadryl has been used in dangerous social media challenges where people OD on it on purpose and shoot video of themselves hallucinating. Live in Osceola County, Michelle Meredith, West 2 News.
So let me give my closing thoughts about this. And I thank you for those who were able to stick around. I know this story is difficult to listen to. And like I said, the biological father may or may not understand where I'm coming from, because sometimes the family members do watch these videos. So I do say that knowing that they will hear my words. And I'll say this again, as a father, as a man, in my humble opinion, and keeping this angel in mind, that she and all of your statements and all of your words and all of your wishes should have been the only thing that you discussed as far as love, remembrance, and forgiveness. That this alleged mother, this breeder, this person that you bred to create that beautiful angel, deserves no respect. She deserves no love. She deserves no understanding. She's selfish and did not have to put this beautiful angel, who could have grown up to become anything, through this just because she was going through something. I don't care what she was going through. There is no level of mental health that will ever excuse this. There is no level of depression that will ever excuse this. If you're having that level of issue, then you should not be a parent and you should not have custody of the child. That child probably would have been better suited to be in the biological father's custody and not in mom's custody. But why did she keep that kid? If you ask me, it makes no sense. If you don't want this child to live, then it sounds like the only reason you kept this kid was to be selfish, either to hurt the dad or to collect benefits off of these children. What other reason could there be? Well, she's not speaking, so we got to draw our own conclusions. And that's what I personally believe. It was either to hurt the dad or to continue to collect benefits. You're going through something. That angel trusted you. She needed you. And you took advantage of her innocence. And I challenge anybody to tell me where it's wrong to not forgive someone who would hurt, murder, abuse, molest our innocent babies who can't speak for themselves nor defend themselves. There are some things that, in my opinion, that are just not forgivable, and I think this is a clear example as to one. That angel deserved to grow up and become something great, and she was robbed of that. by her own biological mother. So to the father, I definitely want to extend my condolences. Maciela, I want to make sure I pronounce her name correctly. Maciela was 4 years old, young princess. R.I.P. I do thank you guys for listening to the story. And if I said something that you might disagree with, you can always post it in the comment section. A lot of times I'll actually catch your comments and I might respond to you. But just let me know what you guys think. But just be honest and let's have an honest discussion about this. Share the story. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel because we want to continue to open this dialogue so we can get solutions so that we don't have another situation like this. And this can be prevented. If you see something, please say something. Thank you.